All right, we're talking Doom open beta. I mean, recently we have seen there was a little tiny snippet or a little tiny sneak peek of Doom. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just gonna kind of split the load up a little bit. You covered the console version, and I took the PC version, and we'll do a little bit of comparing and contrasting, and kind of let everyone know what they can be expecting, and we got a little bit of pros and cons
Yep.
as well. All right,
Yep.
all right. You want to go first, or how do you want to go about this?
I'd say, well, I mean, we both played on PC, so I'll say we'll do PC first, and then I'll kind of give a contrast for the.
All right. So first things first. I mean, we gotta. I mean, let's break the ice. I mean, you're not the overall game experience isn't going to be. It's not going to be a huge difference. I'm gonna assume. Graphically, it might be a little bit different, and the way that it runs, that will be different. But I mean, the overall game experience, I don't feel like it would be a make or break deal on if you should buy the game or not.
No, yeah. I mean, I'd say it was both. They're both fairly good games on both PC and console.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the graphics are definitely not as good on the console, again, because consoles normally don't have as good of a processing power than PCs do.
Yeah.
Um, but the the controls, based on like playing on PC first, I mean, I grew up as a PC gamer. I don't know. I mean, I played the original Doom a little bit on PC back in the day, but going from PC to console, I mean, I've played quite a bit of console as well for like many different games like that, Call of Duty. So I mean, the fast pacedness of it is just like a normal Doom, but the controls of the game trying to move around in that fast pace, it seemed a little clunky to me. I mean, like Call of Duty is a fast-paced game, and I've played that mostly on console. I'm able to do fairly well in Call of Duty.
As a side note, really quickly though, I think that this game takes the cake over Call of Duty in terms of like fast pace because it's, I mean, really short respawns. The maps are more compact. Well, I mean, from what we were able to see in the beta, so I mean,
there's only, like,
it
two
is
maps.
very fast paced. So I mean, I almost feel like it blows Call of Duty out of the water in terms of like fast paced FPS game.
Yeah, but it was really hard for me to be able to control very easily with the game. I don't know if I could have probably maybe changed the sensitivity down, but I don't know if changing the sensitivity down would have been a factor in trying to kill other players because they already have a high sensitivity or something. I don't know. It just seemed too clunky for me for the controls compared to PC.
Okay, and it's interesting that you say that because I mean myself as well. I mean, I first started off on PC as a PC gamer way back when, and I mean the controls they felt absolutely natural. I mean, everything's where it should have been. I had no problems with like the key mapping. I mean, what you see is what you get. I mean, shift is sprint. I mean, one thing that was a kind of a newer concept, or that I didn't really expect, was a double jump because I mean you don't really have that in most FPSs. But that was a cool factor, double jumping. But yeah, the controls, it felt really good. It felt natural. Just a standard FPS controls. I didn't really have any problems with what was the word you used?
I don't remember the word.
All right, I didn't have any
Clunky.
All right, I didn't have any clunkiness problems. I mean, it was everything was really on point, I felt. But I mean, there was definitely from the PC point of view, there was definitely some things that need some improvement. So I'll start off with some of the negatives from the PC. Well, there's one specifically negative for PC, and that is the NVIDIA. If you're running a NVIDIA card, and if you install a certain driver, it gives the game really bad running problems. And I mean, there's even a disclaimer, or there was a disclaimer at the beginning of the beta stating that, hey, this is a known problem. If this occurs, I mean, you know what to expect. Restart and try again. So again, it was pretty interesting that they at least told us that there was a problem, but I mean, that's something that definitely needs to be changed when the game is released in May.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that. I mean, if they put a disclaimer out, that means that they know of the problem and they know they. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be working on that, because I mean, it's not gonna be just an AMD sided game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree, but I mean, it's a note definitely worth mentioning, or something worth mentioning, that there was that problem. So if anyone else had that problem or experienced it, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I guess that would almost be kind of a plus in the console side,
Yeah.
more or less, because the console side doesn't have that issue, because, I mean, it's just a set console. I mean, you don't have any upgrading happening or anything like that. Although I did hear something about they might be working on something like that with the Xbox, so that could be one thing to look forward to.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about weapon imbalances. I mean, it takes you back to Doom Classic with the weapons, I mean, with the rocket launchers and all that good stuff, but, I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of imbalanceness. Like we were saying earlier, it takes a few hits from a rocket to kill someone, like, more than needed. I mean, not necessarily a direct hit, but like a side hit or something like that. I feel like that is really underprivileged. I mean, it doesn't really get. I mean, it's a rocket launcher. I mean, it shouldn't take 5 hits to kill someone, opposed to like going around and just meleeing someone and it takes like 2 or 3 hits. So, I mean, there's certain things that they can probably add in to change the gameplay up a little bit, and I really think they should, because that's kind of a. I mean, it wouldn't deter me from playing or buying the game, but it's just kind of a hassle.
I mean, I ran rocket launcher pretty much the entire time. I mean, back in the day, I believe that's what I was running to. I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's been so long; it's kind of hard to remember since there's so many other games.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not losing.
I definitely just ran rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Entire time.
Yeah.
Even on console, I ran that as well. It's just kind of my go-to weapon is the rocket launcher.
Yeah, and I mean, you're still getting kills. I mean, you're not losing kills. You can still get kills, but it's so much effort into getting one kill. I mean, for something like a rocket launcher, like if you were to take Halo, for example, or at least older Halos, you take a rocket launcher and you get a direct hit. I mean, that's an instant kill, which I feel like it almost should be. Or maybe 2 hits or something like that, but let's balance the weapons out. Come on. That was that I mean, that was probably a similar issue on console as well.
Yeah, I mean, they use the same game mechanics and everything like that, so it was about the same.
All right.
But I mean, it took me a while first of all to actually get a kill, because trying to master the sensitivity.
So besides for the controls,
after playing it for quite a while, I started to kind of get used to it. But it was still definitely a lot harder, because you're more accurate with the mouse and keyboard than you are with the controller. At least in my opinion. I mean,
I'm the same way. Yeah.
Both. But in my opinion, I definitely prefer the mouse and keyboard. For me, I'm more accurate with it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So besides the controls being clunky for the console, how did the game run? I mean, I know on PC it was incredibly smooth. I mean, I wasn't getting any frame drops or any chop spikes or anything like that. I was constantly at a really high FPS, and I mean, I had no outstanding problems playing the game on PC in terms of like smoothness. So can you say the same about console?
I think it was pretty smooth as far as I could tell. I don't think I ran into real like graphical issues with the game. It seemed pretty smooth to me.
Okay.
I mean, it is a console, so it is less. The graphics are a little bit less than PC. So.
Okay.
But the developers do kind of try to do that with the game and kind of limit the capability of graphics specific for console. So I mean the graphics are definitely not as good, so the graphics card or whatever inside of the console can actually run it smoothly.
Yeah.
I mean that's another thing. So like you have a set graphics card, so you have set graphics. An advantage over PC, you can change the graphics if you need to.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I'm all for
run
PC
smoother
over
depending on-
console.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
this
we're not
question.
gonna get into a PC console.
Yeah. No.
argument.
No. This is a Doom review. So this question is going to be kind of more geared toward you, because I never played the classic Doom or the older Dooms. So this is going to be kind of in your ballpark. So I mean, when companies go through and they try and remake classics, I mean, it could be a pretty hot topic, you know? I mean, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure that they might not be living up to the same expectations as they were before. So, or as the classic did, sorry. So what do you think for a classic, for this company going through and remaking a classic game? I mean, how do you think they did? I mean, what do you think about it?
I think they did pretty well. It looks pretty much the same, other than the graphics are a lot better. Game mechanics seem pretty much the same as well. I really enjoyed it quite a bit.
So was there double jumping in the original as well?
I don't think
It's been a
so.
while, huh?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I still had it on my computer, so I could go in and find out. But I guess I don't have it on my computer anymore, so I need to find it again so I can go back and play. I'm not sure how active the original one is anymore, but since now the remake's coming out. So.
Yeah, but it'll probably see a little
We'll
spike
find
in
out.
player activity. But some interesting little side notes. I mean, again, I never played the original Doom, so I don't know if the demon was in the original or if it was a new concept added in. But I'm just gonna go and assume that it wasn't, so that I mean, for the sake of just bringing it up and talking about it as an interesting fact, you
Yeah,
can
I
spawn
believe
in as a demon.
I believe it was.
Oh, it was.
I believe it was. I'm not 100% sure because I did mostly custom matches with other friends back then. I don't remember.
Well, then
I don't
in that
remember
case,
exactly all the different ones.
in that case, they probably just made like a more like graphically better demon, and I mean, the controls feel really good on it. You have like a double rocket launcher. I mean, you have the ability to fly for a short period of time, so I mean, the demon ability, it's almost a make or break. You can do a lot in like team deathmatch. I mean, you can really bring your team back if you have the demon. So it's definitely a cool feature. I really like that. I mean, again, go ahead.
I wrecked quite a bit with that. I mean, I got probably like 12 or 13 kills in a row trying to just kill everyone.
Oh yeah.
I think it was the objective based where the objective is moving. So, I mean, you kind of know where the enemies are. They're going to be in that area. So I just kind of ran around that area where the objective was, and I was able to kill quite a few people.
Yeah, because I mean that's the kind of rocket that I'm talking about. I mean, it shoots a double rocket at the same time, so it's like using 2 rounds at once. And I mean, you really do a lot of damage with that. I mean, you can, like I was saying, you can really clear a team out, or yeah, basically it is. I mean, if you get a direct hit, it's insta. I mean, it's pretty graphic, but the body, you just like completely disintegrate. You just like flop around into different pieces, but it's a pretty cool feature. I really like that. I mean, it splits it up. It makes it different. I mean, Battlefield, you have helicopters, planes, and tanks and stuff like that. This game, you have a demon. Halo, you have warthogs and all that. Call of Duty, You have quick scopes. I don't know. You don't really have any really interesting features in Call of Duty, but again, we won't get into that right now. But okay, so overall rating of your experience on the open beta. We both played it for the couple days that it was out. Oh, you know what also is pretty worth mentioning is all the customizations. I mean, from going through and being able to customize every single piece of armor into specific colors, to being able to equip different armor pieces at once. I mean, you don't have to have a uniform set. You can have just a complete mixed if you wanted to. But from being able to completely go through and put like a two-tone paint job on it, I mean, there is a secondary and a primary. And
there's also like a light or something else too as well. There's like 3 different things you can customize.
Yeah, so I mean, you can pick a Okay, so for example, let's say blue. You pick blue, and you have the choice to make it a more deep blue, to give it like a more darker effect, a standard blue, or a very light and faded blue. And I mean, that's just one of the many things that you can do to customizing. So this game, I'm predicting that once this game is fully out, you'll really never see 2 people that look alike because of all of the different things you can do. I mean, you can even put dirt on your gun if you wanted to. So, and you can add the scratching feature into the paint. So I mean, it's really customizable, and it's really interesting, I'd say.
It kind of took the kind of customization a little bit out from Halo. I mean, I remember I was able to customize quite a bit on the different Halos with the different characters and stuff like that.
See, and I remember that as well. That kind of takes me back to like Halo 3 when you're able to paint your Spartan different colors for custom games and stuff. But this, I think, with Doom, I think they took it a little bit farther, because you're able to, like I said, you're able to add scratches, you're able to add dirt, you're able to make the paint fade, I mean, on the weapon or your armor. So I mean, and I mean, between like gloss and metallic and just like flat colors, I mean, there's such an inventory of like the choices. I mean, it's not just like 3 or 4 colors. I mean, it goes on for quite a while. All right. Is there any other interesting things about Doom we can think of?
Not that I can think of. I mean, it was I really enjoyed the game. I'd probably rate it probably like a 8.5, 9-ish.
8.5.
It was, I really liked it. I didn't really see any major like glitches in the game. I mean, it was a really fun game. I mean, like you said before, the weapons kind of seemed a little unbalanced, but I mean, I enjoyed the Doom series quite a bit, so it was a really good remake of the game, and I liked it.
All right, for my final vote, I mean, all in with everything known and playing it for the couple days, I would say that I would give it a 7. Now, I mean, the weapon imbalancement really hampered that choice. I mean, the weaponry, which I'm sure they'll fix or balance out if enough people complain about it, but between the weapons and the specific problem for my computer with the NVIDIA drivers, I mean, there's a couple things that went wrong, but I mean, I'm sure, again, that those specific incidents will be patched and will be taken care of. But for the time being, I give the game a nice 7. So I mean, we average out to about a 7.5 to C+. C+.
I was gonna say about the same, that rating for the console, about a 7.
Yeah.
For the fact that the controls seemed a little more clunky to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that it's just me, or it could be the actual game. So I don't know. I'm just gonna give it a solid 7 for the fact that I wasn't able to control the game as easily as I was on PC.